Hey, what is up guys? My name is Griefdrums and today we're going to be taking a look at some advanced drone spots for the map Skyscraper. Previously when I do these advanced tips and tricks videos, I very often put the drone spots at the beginning of the video, but there's so many for this map and so many good ones that I wanted to share that the video would just be too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it down into a drone tips and tricks guide and then into just a general tips and tricks and some cool kill holes and murder holes and ways to, you know, pretty much surprise your enemy. So let's get cracking. We're going to start off in the restaurant area. There's these flipped over tables which a lot of people like to try and hide behind. By jumping up onto the edge of those, then up onto the light, you can get up onto the very top of this wooden beam here. From here you can move to the back, and this gives a really good view of a majority of the room, especially down behind those tables where, as I said, a lot of roamers hide. On the opposite side of this same room, by jumping up halfway up the stairs, you can actually catch this lip just here and then up onto the top. Now from here, there is a lot of ways to move around. You're out of eyesight and it's a really, really cheeky spot. You can position yourself wherever you want to get the best view of this room that you want to use. And there's nothing stopping you coming back and utilizing this later in the game just to get a better view on a different angle. Certainly if you're attacking the barbecue area. But with a lot of roamers like Kavera and Pulse hiding out in the bathroom, it's also a good idea to come and check this out. So by jumping up on top of the sink and then the light and then onto the top of the window, you can actually get on top of this light as well. This is a cheeky little place to hide and just keep an eye on that toilet. In the restaurant area again, there's this bar over here. You can jump up onto the bar and then up into the shelving system where the bottles are kept. This is quite good. You've got to be careful when you do it though, because it will break the bottles and it can draw attention to where you are. By jumping over to the back, you can jump into this little shelving system, which gives a similar view but slightly different. So it's down to your own personal preferences to what you want to see. In the kitchen area, most people hide up on these shelves. They think it puts them out of sight, but the reality is that thing in the middle of the room is a better place to be. By jumping up onto the counter in the middle, up onto this shelving system, you can get up onto the racking that all the pots and pans are hanging down from. Now, this is quite good, but you are quite low, and therefore you might get spotted quite easily as you are out in the open. You can move around on this to try and position yourself somewhere a little bit better, but personally, when I was looking for some decent spots for this, I noticed that there's a broken slat in the wooden beams above. Now, there's only one reason that that would be in this game, and that's for things to get up there. So, I decided I was going to try and jump my drone up there, and sure as hell, I was able to get up there. Once you are up, you can move around freely. You are pretty hidden. And this is a really, really cheeky drone spot. As with the previous one in the restaurant, you can move around up here once you're in game. Getting there might be difficult, but well worth it if you can make it there without being seen. So keep an eye on the first floor delivery room. You can jump up onto this counter, and by moving over to the very left-hand side, you are close enough to the TV to get on top of it. Because it's black, you blend in really well up here. In the house lobby just outside of the bedroom downstairs, you can jump into these plants and actually tag from within them, which is quite cheeky. But I personally prefer jumping up on top of the door frame, moving onto the fire exit sign, and then up onto the light. From here, you can move your drone around and check out 360 degrees. And this is really good for catching out spawn peekers and all sorts. In the bedroom itself, if you jump up on top of the samurai armor, you have a limited view, but the drone is hidden and you can use it for audio cues as to whether they're on the left or the right hand side of the room. In the closet next to the bedroom, you can jump up on top of the shelves. Up on the very top gives you a nice view into the shower room and is quite hidden. But if you drop down to the left very slightly, you can look through into the master bedroom and it's even more hidden. Onto the second floor now. In the lounge area, I've seen a lot of people hiding their drones in these because they're red. Your drone is pretty well hidden. The red light doesn't stand out. But by moving over to the left and jumping up onto here, you can get into the very top ones, which is even more well hidden. We can go a step further than that though. The beams up on the roof, you can get up onto those, and you can move all around the top of this room without anyone seeing your drone. From here, the possibilities are practically endless. As you can check out different ends of the corridor, you can keep an eye on it, and it's almost like having its very own stationary camera on the attack. You can do a similar thing in the exhibition room where all the armor and everything is, and all the crossbows. By jumping up onto the side, then up onto the light, you can then get up onto the beams above, and it's the same story here. You can move all around the exhibition room and you can check out the bedroom, the stairs, the VIP lounge, wherever you need to look at. By coming over to the left-hand side, you can hide your drone during the prep phase and then bring it out to have a look around whenever you need to during the round. The other option is by moving all the way to this far corner, you can actually become a stationary camera. You are practically sitting on top of it, and therefore the defenders are unlikely to spot you. Why would they be looking at their own cameras? So this is a really handy and cheeky spot. In the office, by going up on top of the desk, then a shelf, you're up on the beams again. This is sick up here. This is ideal for floor banging people from the bedroom below or the closet area. I love using this spot, but it is high risk, don't get me wrong. You know, to be able to get there without being spotted can be pretty difficult. In the terrace where all the plants are hanging above, there's this rack with all the weaponry in it. By jumping up onto that and then up onto the door frame, you can actually go one higher and up onto the terrace itself out on the outside. Now you can't see anything from here, but by dropping down just here, you can sit onto the light, which gives a pretty dirty view, and you are really well hidden. With the drum room being such a good point of reference for most people, they use this to find where they are on the map. By jumping up onto this cabinet just here, and then up onto the shield, up onto the top of the frame, you can get up on top of these wine racks. Now this is a really cheeky spot because a lot of people like to hide just on top of this roofing area. The other thing is, because I know people are going to ask, yes, you can get up on top of here. By jumping up on top of the drum, then up onto the side, you can actually clip and hold on to these wooden panels on the left. Then you can get up on top of this this next terrace bit. But if I'm completely honest, it doesn't offer a very good view at all. In the geisha room on the second floor, you can jump up on top of this bottom fan, then up onto the window frame and up onto the speaker. Now, I believe this is a hostage room, so this is a pretty good view to have. The other option is by going up on top of the window frame and turning. You can actually jump forward and clip onto the wall or the top fan and then up onto the other speaker to give a different view of the room. On the other side of the room, you can jump up on top of these sofas, up onto the light, up onto the barricaded window, and there's a speaker just over here after you've clipped onto this bit. You've got to be facing the side, otherwise you won't clip, and the speaker can be quite finicky to get onto, but it is possible to do. When people are protecting the tea room, you'll be surprised at how many people actually hide in here, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on it. You can go one step further by jumping up onto this light, which gives a slightly different view and does hide you a little bit more. In the tea room itself, there's a vase just next to this wardrobe. You can jump up on top of that, and then from the top of the wardrobe, you can jump up on top of these beams near the roof. From there, you can jump over to these different beams, which is pretty good for getting an audio cue as to whether there is someone hiding in the part that you cannot breach below. Very often people hide behind these two walls, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on it. And this does give you a nice view. Lastly, out in the hallway, by jumping up on top of this this banister here, you can actually jump up on top of these lights, which gives you a little bit of a view of the stairs and where people like to hide just behind this box here on the right. Hopefully these spots help you out, and if there was a single drone spot in this video that you didn't know, please consider hitting that thumbs up. As I mentioned at the beginning, I do have a video coming out with some regular tips and tricks which will help you garner more kills on this map. That will be up in the next few days. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. For all things Rainbow Six, I've got another map tips and tricks coming out for Bartlett University soon. But until next time, guys, stay reckless and relentless.